Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Treya Tarot. This is the collective reading for Monday, August 5th, 2024. I hope everyone had a nice weekend. I've shuffled the cards already, and I'm just going to cut them to get started. If you like my style and you resonate with these readings, please like, comment, and subscribe. I love to hear from everyone. Thank you to everyone who has commented so far. I appreciate them, and I just love talking to everybody. So let's see what we have on the cards for today. I'm going to pull 4 in each row for today. Okay, so strength. Strength is very much about self-determination for me. It's this experience of knowing how to work through your own wilder elements or your own more unrefined qualities. Okay, so strength is about being able to rein yourself in, so to speak, in a way, or to pull yourself through. That 3 of Swords, I have the feeling that 3 of Swords might have ended up in reverse. At least if I had been using a different deck. But the 3 of Swords is coming across to me as this sort of old heartbreak resolved. Because of strength and the 5 of Cups and then the Wheel of Fortune, the initial tone of the reading is old heartbreak resolved through inner will and trust, self-trust. The 5 of Cups for me, because it's all about not paying attention to those 2 in the background. So there's that feeling of crying over the thing that you can't control while the thing that actually is propping you up is not being paid attention to. That castle in the background of the card is accessible to him, but he won't turn around and walk the path. The end of that cycle, the Wheel of Fortune, the end of that cycle could potentially bring a whole other level of healing. Yeah, wisdom, the Emperor, the 2 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and then the Knight of Cups. Okay, so this is speaking very clearly about something closely held to the heart for whoever it is I'm talking to. The old heartbreak is overturning. So any experience you've had that has been disappointing, and like I said, this doesn't necessarily have to be love. This could be something, I mean, it obviously could be love, but this could be something that has to do with anything that you felt was a major disappointment. The end of the disappointment and movement into the wisdom and stability that you're looking for. The 8 of Cups is interesting because it feels like it's thrown into a row that it doesn't belong in a lot of ways, because who would want to walk away from true love or that sense of completion that we're looking for emotionally? Who would want to walk away from that sort of refined, wise, fair energy of the Emperor? But the Knight of Cups tells me that there's something we're still working towards here. So whatever old disappointments come up this week, today, expect them to walk you through a process. Primarily, this is seeming to me to be an emotional process because obviously Cups cards. So it doesn't look like something's going to fall apart externally so much as it might break down an old structure internally. That leaves you free to move towards something else. The 9 of Cups, contentment. The Moon, intuition, the murky path, uncertainty. King of Swords, that's that clarity that we're looking for, transformation. 9 of Wands, interesting. And then the 4 of Wands. All right, so intuitively I can say that this is reading as the resolution or the overturning of a pattern that's very, how do I say this? That has been something you use to create a shaky foundation in your experience of life. So let me see if I can pull an example. So let's say you've always had trouble with work. Let's say you have always worked really hard, but at some point something comes in and sort of knocks you down off of whatever path you're on, and you're derailed, so to speak. And therefore you end up out of work and trying to recuperate and failing to do so over the course of a few months to 6 months to a year after each time this happens. So let's say you have a cycle of this where you get a job, you work really hard, something goes wrong, you end up out of that job for whatever reason, and then you have to struggle for a while to get back up to the same opportunity again, and then the same cycle happening repeatedly. This would be the overturning of that cycle. So the stabilizing of that difficulty. So let's say the difficulty is centered in the fact that, you always feel surprised by the demands of that job. So you get into a job, they're unclear about your demands or job expectations. And so you're working really hard in one direction, but it's not at all what they've hired you for. And you don't realize it. There's a miscommunication, okay? In this example, the miscommunication is actually the issue, not how hard you're working, or that you're in the wrong place, or that, any of the other possible things you might have blamed this cycle on or seen in this cycle as a trait or a quality. The actual issue is that there's something being missed. So if this were love, it would be dating similar people over and over again that never work out because of a quality or a piece of the puzzle that's being missed. Overturning. So you're going to get that clarity. Like King of Swords, there's clarity coming on a part of the process that always seemed to break down the goal or break down the cycle. So your point of breakdown is coming into clarity. That will allow you to stabilize the situation, move towards what actually feels like safety and comfort and contentment, and then walk through that portal or create that celebratory experience of, I've done it, I figured it out, I can move forward now. The old heartbreaks don't have to be brought forward. Okay, I'm going to pull some more. Don't feel like this is over. I do wonder how this all plays into what we've been experiencing so far. But I wonder if maybe it's a form of self-forgiveness that we're about to experience, in that our old cycles aren't necessarily initiated at the points or parts of our process that we think they are. So we're not needing to feel bad about it anymore, because we start to see why things have happened the way they've happened. Seven of Swords, we've talked about this one before. Seven of Swords can be about deceit or stealing away or taking someone's resources, but it can also be about manipulation and disarming the enemy. So enemy or opponent, depending on your perspective. The interesting part about the 7, though, showing up right before a card like the 10, which is all about stable foundations, is that there's almost this undercurrent here in whatever scenario this is reflecting in your life, of having to manipulate in order to keep your place, or having to manipulate in order to keep your value, your perceived value. But that's not actually necessary anymore. The Hermit brings up themes of inherent value for me. So if you're the type of person who is people-pleasing often, this would apply. So any people-pleasing cycles may be coming to an end, but they're coming to an end in a way that helps you stabilize. So ultimately, this will feel pretty good, I feel like a lot of the readers that I've been watching have been predicting this sort of, tower moments, things falling apart. And I don't necessarily see it that way entirely. I feel like some things will fall away, yes, but I feel like we've been through this process so many times that it might not necessarily feel like we're falling apart. That maybe it almost feels like, oh, okay, then that's the thing that I shouldn't keep working for, or that's the scenario that's not working out in my life. Maybe I should go try something else. The Magician, the Manifester. The Manifester who brings the divine into reality. The Page of Swords, messages, new ideas, new directions, particularly new ideas about a direction. Two of Swords, the Choice. It's often said as, read to be a blind choice, but it is not blind. It's just requiring you to think through a little more completely. This is appropriate for Mercury retrograde. So it's asking you to think through, to be a little bit more conscious about your decision-making process, and to keep an open mind to third options. So it's not just these two. There could be another way forward. The Five of Wands, competition, pointless battles. The Eight of Wands, fast forward movement, and the King of Pentacles. Some of this could show up as financial transitions. Now, I've heard that too in many of the readings I watch as well. People talking about financial disruption, but I don't think it's disruption. I think it's transition. I think that if you experienced issues with finances in the past, that might be resolving. If you experience an overabundance of finances, but no direction or no discipline, you'll be experiencing the discipline. It's look for the inverse experience of what you're used to. And that's where you should point your compass, so to speak. The King of Pentacles tells me that this is very much a new reality for a lot of us, that the struggles and the things that have been difficult and stressful are transitioning so quickly that it might feel shocking, it might feel intense, or even, incredibly exciting in that way. Like, the shock doesn't necessarily have to be bad shock. In fact, I don't see it as such. I see it more like a happy intensity, or a how did my life change so quickly kind of theme. But that King of Pentacles tells me that there's a massive revolution about stability here. Same with the Ten of Pentacles behind it. So some new idea is bringing in a form of stability we've not been used to before, or we haven't experienced before, or the resolution of an old cycle that was very destabilizing is coming into clarity right now. So I think that is good. It's very good. What a way to start a week, yeah? Okay. Have a good week. I will see you tomorrow, but have a good week, and leave me a comment. Tell me what's going on in your life. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.